There have been many dangerous regions throughout the ages in the vast and magnificent land of Albion. Lynchfield Graveyard, the Grey House, Wraith Marsh, and even Rookridge have a dark history with death and suffering, where the wisps and dead of Albion have later gravitated towards to use the many corpses as vessels in order to interact with the world. During the Age of Industry, a new place became feared by the residents of Albion, where even the Royal Army of Bowerstone were deployed in an attempt to keep the dead under control. What was this place, and why did some residents of Albion choose to set up a village nearby? Here we explore in the lore behind Mourningwood. Located just north of the capital city of Bowerstone, the region of Mourningwood is home to many creatures of Albion. Hobs, vicious crows, and the undead are just a few of the creatures that roam the region, searching for adventurers and passerbys unable to defend themselves. While the region itself is deadly, humanity still attempted to create settlements and places to visit within. Entering from the western sewers of Bowerstone Industrial, one of Albion's few self-sufficient communities survives on the outskirts of Mourningwood. Named the Eco-Village by the Bowerstonians, this small settlement attempts to survive using the few natural resources around them. Although small, the Eco-Village consists of 2 homes and 3 stores constructed around a central tree. Slightly further into the village, a 3rd home stands alone. As a still fairly undeveloped region, Old Kingdom structures still stand through the marsh, showing that this region once had a rich history, but with time, this history is likely lost forever or buried deep underground. While the residents of the Eco-Village live in peace away from the hustle and bustle of the local city, a large company within the city, Reaver Industries, decided to use the region to dump theirs and the city's sewage regardless of the objections of the residents that live there, making life a little harder for them. Although regarded as a desolate region to the majority of the members of Albion, the residents of the Eco-Village were said to boast that they live close to a demon door, a relic of the Old Kingdom. While they were unable to access it, those that have spoken to the ancient being have said that it complains about the constant war in the world and that this cycle continues to go round and round. The door believed that the only way to stop this cycle is to create an all-powerful weapon to end all wars. In Albion's history, only the hero of Brightwall was said to have accessed this door. The hero is then said to have told their closest advisors that past the portal within, the door led to a desolate planet far away from Albion. While vast, the realm initially had only 2 noticeable items, the first being a chest in the center containing military armor, the perfect armor to wear to end all wars, supplied by the Demon Door. Next to this, an orrery, a marvelous piece of technology capable of mirroring the stars and planets in orbit around the planet. Moving the location of the planets on the orrery responded by making changes to the celestial bodies around the planet that the hero stood on, a stunning sight to any adventurer lucky enough to gain access to the Demon Door realm. Travelling past the Eco-Village and further into the marsh, the region is full of wooden fences in a maze-like fashion. While these fences were likely originally put in place to allow the pathways to remain within the marsh, they inadvertently created a maze-like structure capable of confusing even a skilled navigator. Making it past the maze, to the right of the path leads to tall iron gates. These gates allow access to the cursed region of Sunset House, a grand mansion that had burned down years before. Although the remains and rubble of the house still act as a landmark of where the house had once stood, every night, the spirit of the house materializes for the surrounding areas to view. Only a few courageous adventurers have braved travelling through Mourningwood to view this magical oddity. While magnificent to view, this location comes with its own dangers, as Hobbs and Hollowmen now patrol this troubled plot of land. As an extremely cursed location, it is believed that only an adventurer with intellect and strength would be able to break the curse of Sunset House. Navigating further into Mourningwood and into the centre of the region, a vast graveyard spans the hills and slopes of the earth. Hundreds of tombstones and many crypts fill the vast plot of land, allowing the vast number of wisps in the region to possess any one of the wide range of corpses, a hotspot for the undead. Now a permanent home to the many dead of Bowerstone and surrounding regions, the wisps and undead are said to wander the wooded maze and marshes of Mourningwood, searching for unlucky travellers who are likely to join them in death. From the graveyard and through a path of crypts, the ossuary is located behind a crypt door. Within, a grand structure full of crypts, graves and towers is home to even more angry and undead wisps. With the entirety of the ossuary haunted by an army of undead soldiers, only those truly confident in their combat ability will make it through the Grand Temple alive. And the adventurer's reward for doing so? The ability to view an organ constructed from both wood and human bones. It is also rumoured that hidden within the temple is a locked ancient gold door, only accessible to those who have discovered one of the 4 rare golden keys hidden across Albion. Inside, a sarcophagus containing a rare powerful weapon waits for someone to come and collect it. Continuing into Mourningwood, the ruins of an ancient evil temple stand on the outskirts. This dark sanctum had once been the home of the Dark Sanctum Brotherhood, where they were said to have committed evil deeds and sacrificed innocents to appease their deity. Within the temple, it had once held a library, a sacrificial barbecue, and grand statues, a place for true evil to worship. It is unknown what happened to the original members of this ancient temple, but an event occurred resulting in the temple becoming vacant. With a stigma attached to the temple due to the evil deeds committed within, the villagers of Albion stayed away and allowed nature to reclaim the Dark Sanctum. Over the years of abandonment, parts of the structure collapsed, eventually leaving it inaccessible. While it is unknown what happened to the original group of the Dark Sanctum Brotherhood, years later, a man named Leslie travelled to Mourningwood after hearing rumours about an ancient temple of evil. Believing this place to be his destiny, he planned to reopen the Dark Sanctum and bring in a new wave of evil to Albion by creating a new brotherhood. Arriving at the temple, he discovered a magical barrier blocking the entrance. Still believing this to be his destiny, he waited for an evil soul to visit and help him bring back the temple. It is said that the hero of Brightwall came across Leslie, and within the hero, Leslie saw an evil soul. In order for the hero to prove their worth, Leslie ordered the hero to visit the local eco-village and murder one of their villagers to prove their evil. After completing this task, the hero was said to have then given Leslie 5,000 gold pieces to excavate the ruins of the temple to allow access inside. Returning after the excavation, Leslie discovered the halls were infested by hordes of hollow men, and so he called upon the hero once more to rid them from the Dark Sanctum. Over time, the Dark Sanctum was renovated and new members were welcomed to join. Albion now had a new wave of the Dark Sanctum Brotherhood to worship and sacrifice innocents to their lord. As news spread, members joined and evil once again had a place in Albion. Deep within the sanctum, past a complex puzzle, it is said that hollow men protect an ancient weapon locked away many years before, the Tenderizer. This hammer had once been used by the original members of the Dark Sanctum Brotherhood to prepare their older, tougher sacrifices. With the members of the Brotherhood gone, only those brave and adventurous enough to venture into the deeper regions of the Dark Sanctum and survive its guardians would be able to acquire this ancient weapon. Mourningwood's most well-known feature is located at the end of the path. Although the structure had slowly decayed through time, the Mourningwood fort was selected as the perfect location as an outpost for King Logan's royal army. Here, those assigned to the outpost were tasked with reducing the amount of hollow men that infested the land, as well as stopping them from passing into Bowerstone. The group of men, named the Swift Brigade, after their officer in command, Major Swift, consistently fought with the hollow men. Within the castle in Bowerstone, Logan had discovered that through his tyrannical actions, a small number of soldiers from his royal army had become unloyal, and so, in an attempt to remove them, he sent them to become a part of the Swift Brigade, believing this outpost to have the highest death rate. As more soldiers fell to the hollow men, more corpses became available for the wisps to inhabit, thus continuously allowing the hollow men army to grow and have a constant stream of enemies for the Swift Brigade to fight against. In their eyes, a continuous, never-ending war with many casualties. While an active outpost, it still contained stores for passing adventurers to purchase potions from. If the brigade were lucky, the adventurer would stay to help them against the hollow men. Although trained to fight well with melee and gunplay, the soldiers also managed to construct mortar cannons to wipe out clusters of hollow men before they could reach the fort. With nothing to do in the form of entertainment within the outpost, the soldiers began to use the mortars as a form of fun, combining their job of killing the hollow men where they assigned points to how many they could kill in a chosen amount of time. On the hero of Brightwall's journey to become the ruler of Albion, they came across the Mourningwood fort when passing through the region. With permission from Major Swift and the second in command, Ben Finn, the hero helped fight off an immense wave of hollow men. Although many men died, the hero's presence during this assault stopped the fort from becoming overrun by the hollow men forces and saved many lives. After the hero became the ruler of Albion, the Swift Brigade left the fort unmanned, allowing the hollow men to roam the marsh region of Mourningwood at will. Now as the ruler of Albion, the ruler had the choice of what to do with Mourningwood. In one reality, they chose to continue to use the Mourningwood region as a sewage dump for the whole city of Bowerstone, where the residents of the eco-village would have to continue to live in an even worse environment, with the sewage now reaching their ankles and immense air pollution. In another reality, the ruler chose to remove sewage dumping completely and had a recycling plant built, resulting in the eco-village becoming a nicer place to live for the humble villagers. The marsh region of Mourningwood is still a dangerous region for any adventurer that is not trained in combat. While this region is full of dangerous creatures and unsavory characters, Mourningwood is a vast area full of history and knowledge of old religion, ancient artifacts, the Old Kingdom, and home to a humble village simply trying to survive away from the rest of the world. I ask Hero, if you had to pass through Mourningwood, which part would you visit first? Hey guys, so this week I could not come up with a theory that I could attempt to justify, and so I decided not to force it. While I am here, I do want to thank you all for the continued support. These subscribers are coming in so fast. How are we at 17,000 already? That's crazy. I just feel really lucky at the moment that you guys are still enjoying these lore videos even after a year. If you are new and are not subscribed, I would highly recommend it. I do have a giant playlist of Fable lore, as well as Half-Life lore with Dragon Age hopefully coming soon. There are also timelines for Bioshock, Half-Life, Portal and Fable. If you do want to help the channel grow and to maybe appease those algorithm gods, I would really appreciate it if you could share this video, turn on the bell notification and even leave a comment or a like. Any interaction is great for the channel. Thank you again. Now, enjoy your day, hero. Bye.